All right, Coach. So playoff game. What's the mood of the team right now?
Yeah, we're upbeat. We're fired up. It's March Madness in Arcata. We're excited to be able to host the CCA to the tournament, and we're excited about all our fans coming out tonight. Our players are ready. We are who we are at this point. We're a very good basketball team. We've proved that, especially at home. This home court advantage is something we've been working for, and it's been a goal for us, and we've accomplished that. And now it's about survive and advance.
All year long, you've talked about how your team has been young, and that's kind of sometimes you feel like you're playing with house money, and it's. But what do you tell those guys? Because you've been through this a lot. What do you tell the younger guys about tonight?
We are young. We do have some freshmen. We do have some sophomores, but now they're sophomores. Now they're juniors. As far as experience goes, I mean, we're getting to the last game, or the last tournament, or the second to last tournament into the postseason. So you look at these guys and they are young, but they've had a lot of playing time this year. They understand the heightened resolve that you have to do to win games, the toughness factor that comes into these kind of championship games, and so I think they're ready. What is exciting is that they will have this under their belt going into next season, and as far as postseason tournament experience as young players. And then obviously the addition of Calvin Young coming back next year really is a bright horizon. But we're not going to talk about next year, we're going to talk about tonight.
And this year they've expanded to eight teams. What do you think of the expanded conference tournament?
I like the 8-team tournament format because teams 9, 10, and 11, and 12 deep are playing for something the last weekend or the last 2 weekends. If we would have taken care of business at Cal State Stanislaus and Chico this last weekend, we would have tied for a season championship, just the way it played out. So we were playing for a championship. A lot of teams are playing to get into that 8 seed, so it's exciting. It's what March is all about. It's what college basketball is all about.
And right now in the West, I think you guys are kind of right below 10 seeds. So you guys know that you probably need to win this tournament to play in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Talk about that kind of.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios where if we just won this game and Friday night's game, the semifinals, maybe there's a situation where we get in some kind of statistical way. But I would imagine that it's going to be 3 games in a row. We're going to need to win tonight, Tuesday night, and Friday and Saturday night to get in. So 3 games. We can't look back, can't look the statistical game at this point to get into the NCAA tournament.
Typically in this conference, when you face someone in the playoffs, it's for the 3rd time, whereas tonight with Monterey, it's the 2nd time. Does that change anything?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Usually it would be the 3rd time. Right now it's our 2nd time, but it's a quick turnaround. It's only been a couple of weeks, and they certainly are playing extremely well. They won 7 out of the last 9 games, so they're 7-2, which is a better record than what we've posed in the last 7 games or 9 games. So they're playing at a high level. We beat them here, but it was a tight game. They're explosive. They have great guard play. We'll make adjustments going into this game, even though we won, and I'm certainly they'll make plenty of changes coming off of their loss with us a couple of weeks ago. They've played Cal State East Bay here recently with Marquise Washington, a player that did play in our game. He's a very strong player. He's an inside player. He's a tough matchup for us. He will be playing a lot of minutes tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the game.
And having the season wrap up on Thursday of last week for you, whereas they played on Saturday, will that quick turnaround for them versus the extra days of kind of recovery be something that plays into a factor tonight?
Well, I think it's advantage Humboldt. They've stayed on the road since Saturday. They came up here to Humboldt early on Sunday, so they've set up camp. They've been setting up shop here for the last 2 days and getting used to our local hospitality and food fare and sea level. But coming from Monterey Bay to Humboldt and everything in between, I'm sure Coach Rob has done a great job with them. They have DJ Broom on their staff, Tyler Brown, so I'm sure during their 48-hour stay over the weekend into tonight's game, they've seen the sights and sounds of the North Coast with those 2 young men being hosts and former players in Humboldt State. They know the ins and outs of our county, and it just makes for a great rivalry, really, with Monterey, which we've never really had before. But having those 2 assistants that are former players, it makes for just a little sweeter.
And lastly, what's the added benefit and impact of having a home crowd behind the guys tonight?
The crowd's huge. If we could sell this thing out tonight, that would be a huge advantage for us. We've proven that. We're 14-2 at home, 15-2 if you count the exhibition game. Last year we were 15-1. So big crowds mean big things for Humboldt State men's basketball.
So
I got one more. On Sunday, you got to be in quite the prestigious segment of Hoshida's Heroes. What did it mean to you?
In terms of coaching resume, I may have reached my pinnacle. This may be a time to ride off into the sunset, having been a Hoshida hero. So I appreciate the honor. It's definitely been taped and kept in my archives.